when it rains a pulse. Yes, in Kofobebre, Nipa Miense Wadenta. Flooding since 1968. In Ziotobia, Ghana, yes, ya Dani Kokosechi, Ebesi Yedai. What can we do? Dear na buying bit me. A who say Ranti be say bar stop boys, or more promo, ye got test. A man for be brino a cassette, dear ni bit me. Is it about indiscipline and answer about civil a year engineering, the way a constructing a roads near a gutters, your drainage system? What is the problem?
Yeah, Dr. Ren, I think sir, the SC natural say you're serious as people. We've never been serious. We are emotionally reactionary people. I did a friend in knee-jerk reaction. Assembly see an engineer Dimika call kiki, see an engineer yakoda. That is who we are. In the first place, sir, way a annual occurrence across all government is sick the bia. Said we see came from Kwame Nkrumah time and a crash as a flower there. There hasn't been any bold initiative here you take it as of mine or you're making a priority in the next 10 years. We are building drains in Accra. A buying back power, Benya Sikadia Yen Sim, who know we are singing. I've been a sky train, I had time $2 million said the Kwakwaya coming. But dear here, because in the Accra now or more building no, clearly a trust say very foundations are yes city, sa inner drains na ye deep ones are. Ye constructed consciously. Ebe drainy or ebe drainy chrono, ya nyebi. Because I understand, most of the foreign countries are a drainy because when water no overwhelmed, told you a certain level. We've seen London, we've seen US, we've seen Arab countries, flooding and so forth. But the question is, how often? Sadi and the Besino, now in so now to ICD expected limit. By Yahano and run so ya to a Antons will Antancho. Say and so to Accra 30 minutes. You should expect flood. Say and so to 1 hour. You should expect any pabewu. Say and so to 2 hours. You should know say dime bebuogu. And so to 5 hours a dime bebuogu nipa beira nipa bewu. And that has been very common occurrence over the years. Yeah. So I think going back, I don't know the American, but going forward, I think that John Mahama should make it one of his priorities. Going forward, we need to build big drains in Accra. And a construction, a land na yatunton, and now buying sas in any say yaton, Dr. Ren, yatunton. And I bet me I relocated some individuals near ya build the proper drains. Accra. And again, gutters are choky. Obien who are all cleaning. But over corner contractor, ya dear ma companies are Cassia or more sake this country, Jessica. Obien who oti gutter BM.
Zoom Lion is so Zoom Lion so up a year a new contract.
Yes, contract. Ya to Kroma ya tam $43 million masses that pass on fancy gutter be and buy a hosone egune wardrobe. So a child your attitude need na happen because of criminal negligence. Me we cry them so negligence am my way. A criminal omission on our part. We've decided say yeah because in so no cry turn obi to me the sham come say nyankopon ya chairman so to sansem hunu no when we know say other way is our own creation, our own design. So I think that President Mahama should make it one of his priorities. In the next 4 years, we need to change course because it's not something that cannot be done. It can. Engineering work in Accra, we need to revisit it. Now making sure, we build bigger drains. I bet me, I waterway and waterway na existing waterway na a choke here. Emma a man for yes, dino. We need to decongest. Na ya mubu sa dan ni nyina tungu any building bia esi waterway okọ ya fans AMA they've been giving people permit to build the waterways and there are some amonso de omope
yeah this a year Ramsey site he say John a year say John Ibewu na Ramsey side na what the amane
yes.
or the wacha the amane busia.
Oh, na Ramsey side na no ko land bi ani ho. Land bi ani ho. Ɛhɔ nyinaa amanfo sidan. Ya ton ni nyinaa. The okwa ɛda hɔ no, ya to wa afa ho, ɛyɛ obedie. So there is no Ramsey land baby. That is how greedy and unreasonable politics has become in a part of this country. Nipanya tumia. Opesa ofafa de kese ofafa mu niema nyina. Ye nim nyansa wu se leadership ne ye de sum nipa. Ye de ya de yi na obi ba obebo odin say Dr. Ren penso na ye we or own it to himself. O kwa adro se ya na de beko. When I was say sit estate dan acquire for ya na no ye so akoto estate dan 29.
Kwabena Dubois.
Enye greedy. How can a normal reasonable person look for my sika no akokan estate dan 29 so matua ka bom na mpampa na watua ka obi ambisa no question. Building empires when this money could have built individuals, poor people. A few days ago, me call restaurant visa me kwa kodidi. I saw a young lady. Very beautiful young lady. Na o serve do na misa nsa o yeden wa. O se wa wie school na one ne maame net ne maame yare na o serve aduane na obobo sika no na o de akọ university. Me se na me wra ho. Ko abaya na onam the next time obehu no na akora abo ne bo. Because of the difficulty onamu. Na na the school dreams na akele.
Enuma mienu na wa bosso, enuma mienu na wa bosso conversation ya udi imsta. Ma membere mu kakra. One, akra na obehunu na akra bonebo no. Eno no mebusa question na fatu utrim about how the black man Titu Ghana ni the fathers no. Are we responsible enough? But eno mebusa eno no fatu answer. Eba yembra eye flooding yi. Do you think say as a nation, emrene do say eye ahemfo asase ye omodea? Eye a friend is saying ebusuekueku a asase ye omodea no. Emre do say abane no ombetena se akase. Efri na ekome be shemra. We will use eye emrana kase. Se wo ye ohene ana wo ye busuapanyin na wa asase na opese wo ton. Na ya asase a eso a either say obeton de ama aban no for ebia building of ebia properties ana edan obeton ama aban no ana obeton ama eye de from real estate developers senia aban de be make sure say sa asase no ye be na as a service plot ye be provide bibia na say would ebia wo 70 by 100 no obekona kwan de dem telephone post wo hodada electricity hodada insurance hodada bibia o hospital hodada into the unya no an say o plot na wakwa kwesi wo mansion a wo pe. Do you think says about time aban no betimi ayesa to sa na mo no senia one ebe prevent these land guards. Two, ebe prevent say yetonton sa asema nipa bia nipa be 4 5 7 6 near tomorrow. Three, ebe make sure say aban be real constructive friends a construction papa well service plotter yen ko hunu no sa flooding ni sa no me because na uhwe aso bia si dan no baby a.
Yeah, Dr. Ren, you see all things being equal and I think says I don't care beka. But ahemfo no and the politicians are equally corrupt. So obian trust obia. Because I men no can Ramsar sites and shaman so these are government land. Oko your friend is saying 37 na Bema Camp. Land na ewo mo animu hodi nyina no na nse ya twitwa ton ma individuals. So there were binding some kra no. They are not being put to proper use. So oko heno ho no say command direction he will not take you serious because you yourself you are corrupt. Because me I belong to a school of thought that says individuals in the country should not be given power to go to be building. I believe just like London and other places, one kasa person will see there go to the outskirts, give it to companies, and answer a buying. You build the same building, our area, and design everything, is there. What the answer will Because the very moment individuals begin to say, "NCC, dying, you're penning," then you can go and ask at baby, no, because you would die. Now, so person what's now chrome, yeah, the developer, a binding or contractor, or see a dying for you, no movement, better. And now, because if we do that, trust me, we will change Accra. For instance, baby, I meant to say, a bind bet me budana or holding you know, go as I build the high rise building.
And then
Even one building alone can help.
And then come back to say any yatese president can say will be move the capital na they call these are from plains or tea some parts of the year the Volta basin Volta region is annually. And I am asking the question, say, why don't we start by redevelopment by moving the Burma camp, the Teshi military camp? These are government lands that are almost quarters. Why don't we move all these people to ABI, Venice, and Esuchari, and then redeveloped a year, Abaino Sasana, Burma camp, Teshi military camp, and all those other camps, into a year, Venice, and Sky, a year, high rising buildings where we can rent it out for offices, for commercial purposes, for residents, I bet me and also fetching money for the government. What is stopping us?
Yeah, Dr. Ren, I think that building a new city is a long term way. It will not solve any of the problems we face immediately. Building a new city will take years. But for me, I think that the solution lies right in front of us. And we can use some of the, your friend is saying, areas now as an experiment. For instance,
exactly.
A place like Teshi, a place like Teshi now has a Mosisi Adanya, Obukrabefu. And some of the dynasties are not a dime. So what government can do, ni say, you present a plan and rebuild all these cities. We see a down floor, no, a family the rest be a bind here.
And exactly what you are saying, so buying a bit to me, and so move from a year or no for no one Bema camp no more cities, or relocate to warm free a year Bema camp no, Edward Muko Suchari. Now, real development of Burma camp and Teshi military camp. No move to Sabia la. Ofa la mami. Now for Teshi mamia. Ni relocate to Mako the new building there where Teshi a friend is a Burma camp and Teshi military camp no. Ni redevelopment of la enclaves no in the Teshi enclaves no. Into Syria then we remove we do the relocation again. No ma babo manka samo real a friend is almost so. Na a cromony
where would my investor be? They will do it. Because Oko place like Teshi, these are not houses. You can, if you want to be fair, these are not houses, and the so you can build this place again. Now what the ground floor, no the family let them own the ground floor. The developer or Abayo will own and rent the top up. You don't need to build any new city anywhere. One, is cost effective. Again, the indiscipline amount for the Accra, the same thing that coming up in this new city. Because also a man for Baba Tasa say, I be see more dying, and the same problem will come. And now you can't run away from one problem in a bid to create a solution, you will end up creating the same problem. So why don't we be frontal and deal with this problem once and for all? Because it's not as if Accra cannot be redeveloped. Accra and there is no plan. No one is but me say we can use Teshi Nungwa Labadi ne saying Lashibi as an experiment. A dino say government says at least a dia at was of 5 krana. Not making sure say every floor can house about 4 families. You know the number of houses. You bet me, Accra will become a new city, a modern city altogether. We don't need to move out to go and build a new city. And no, it will take, building a new city, it will take about 20 years to actually say you're building a new city. And so now we move on, the cost involved, the funding, where is it coming from? But if we fuel into some of these enterprises American, we will change Accra. So for me, I think that is the kind of mindset.
You see, say I'm paying for. Sometimes I wonder, and you see, they don't do research, and that is the problem. From since Kwame Nkrumah free so on, Dodo no abeni na don't do research. I think that it was a champion who really took advantage of research institutions. Ufa the wo ye Kenya. Ya te say Nigeria for move womo capital every Lagos ekwa Abuja.
Yes.
But today go and see
Yes,
but to say go and see Abuja ne Cote d'Ivoire no move said the way a chrono say esa yet said the same Lagos no the same thing no. So the question here and say I think say edumrebia our people must be serious, our leaders must be serious, invest in research, invest in people who are thinkers. Not being Kaza Sanko from think tanker, woman tinkibiano, Omudianis or Mopebi, there be no. Invest in men and women like a year Ivan Chim, a year innocent. You see, because offer a yen semi a year Kenya. Kwabema come come here, and I am with the team in a show the woman. And I'm with one woman.
So a brantia, Wakotina Murama, Yako training a Wabra, Wabano. Omote da empana ya abrosan so fro na wakoda soro.
Mesi wo ko bema campa wo motete wanwum a wo moto anie. Hey the carton the fedel. Me wa bema camp fu asojafo yi. Ye wo 48 engineering regiment. Ade na kire esin yen say beka so ye redevelopment ye yi wo mu nyina fra ko the new building ye Saglami. Ye bema kamfo ni nyina yemfo mo nko Saglami na ye redevelop ye use the same 48 engineer regiment for no MBOD Ghana ni abrantie ne baba we bia wo tikwan ho a woni ba bi da no ye be use as a friend is saying as a laborer ye be tetew in construction ne akire ye wi adan ne be ma obi no adem no wakwa ye adwuma ne atetew. This is council oba bro kire ya council flat e dia ne ye adan tintin is a boarding school ne demo. And I'm for so. I mean, come on. Yes. Sometimes I ask myself, say, what is preventing these politicians to find reasoning? At the end of a glass house. When we have timber anyway, I bet me your windows, papi. You were clear anyway. Your friend is there. You bet me connected down a building. At the end of chinchina, modern days is a sawa brooch USA ya omododo anu atete ntabu dem unim the intra because of this hurricane no accident this year kofu bebre no ebe severe etiemu mu materials in case of any a friend is atorenchen bia no casualties no will not be in massive and it will not be overwhelming but ya de etiwo Obitiwa no aboniti
me ya Accra from 1990 ya sha ase de blog ni cement C9 one who say any research bi aba nti amanfo use any other thing apart from Saudi no da but if you go to other places amanfo atimi I invest even aluminium sa plate na se for no kran amanfo DC adan
una say unim say the latest iron rods ye ja use o UK o. You use iron rods ni biemu. You use basalt rods, and it's more durable, more stronger. It lasts very light than even the iron rods. No,
and so you find these things when you invest in research.
That's the thing. Volta original basalt rock will be brave. Say basalt rock, and you go be
yeah, okay, because there is no need for now. Say you're building new city. For me, we can reconstruct Accra once again because there are vast land that we are just misusing it for so I bet to be putting it to proper user. But who will listen? That is the thing. So yeah, we do what we can.
So we call Cyprus. Now we fa womo waterfront noa. Fekeke. And so nam Ghana, you see front to cry, you utilize it. You see front to be attack Kwame no one and you what to play helicopter muna will chef from one house. So who is thinking? Who is doing the thinking for us? A cry team, we don't even know the importance of gold. We don't even know the usage and benefit of gold. We don't even know the importance of lithium. Ivan?
Dr. Ran, your problem. So that is Ghana for you.
It didn't panic a problem. Ivan, catch it. Didn't panic a problem. What is our problem?
Oh, I think that dear, when Nipanya to me, not say what do. They don't take advice from anybody. can't say, well, who's a come the door now, Kasa. That kind of way, no. But elsewhere, it's not like that. When you get power, that's where you engage more, you listen to people, you invest in minds as or betting me amount the alternative feedback other way around by Hano and yes, the very moment people capture political power, the doors are closed. They become so arrogant, they know everything, nothing comes out. So when you assume that rigid pace now, nothing comes in. And if you are making a mistake, you won't find out. And Internet Akufo-Addo for 8 years was able to mess himself up for 8 good years because he closed the doors. Now, a center around him, sycophants and bootlickers. I don't know, they're singing praise, so you think everything is okay. But I think that governance has gone to a level where we need to identify minds, engage them, thinking. We need to create deliberate thinking shops, individuals who will delve deeper into things, come out with an alternative for you. Because some of these things, if you engage people, try to have a conversation. There are a lot of options and choices that will come up. For instance, then stop here, say, Medina. Dr. Ryan, do you know something? Do you know that Medina alone can house everybody living in Accra?
Oh, yes.
Medina alone can house every single person living in Accra. It's just a matter of raising a high-rising building. I mean, with a Medina Accra for Adenta that stretch, Legon down, Hono, can house every single person in Ghana. Then the rest of the land, Edaho, we turn into something different. So it's just a matter of, you take your thinking cap. Now you're rigid when it comes to some of these things. Because you see,
and
the vision to create a new region is good, but for how long? The same in discipline, because Nipana, after 10, 20 years, Charlie, it will become a mess again. And the same problem will arise. So why don't we resolve this particular problem today? And say, Accra, people are still building. Waterways, people are building. And the congestion, so we can decongest without moving out. For me, that's my candid opinion.
Yo, Ebusia Ogusu Awutie Rainbow Radio 92.4 FM. Onim sen komo aye di na obi asane me ura asenso boachi bantama asenso boachi. And we say before breaking grounds for a new city, Ghanaians deserve to answer these questions. Where will this city be located? And why there? What industries or services will anchor its economy? Who will build and fund it? Government, private sector, or through public-private partnership? How will land acquisition be handled, especially with regards to traditional authority and community rights? What legal and governance framework will guide the development? Without these answers, the new city risks becoming just another vanity project mired in delays, speculations, or abandonment.
Dr. Ren, if there is an immediate solution, a lie right in front of us, I think we need to take that first option rather than going to build a new city. For me, Accra can be redesigned and can be redeveloped just to ease the congestion. And then as for congestion is our own creation. For instance, a Dranopa, Obia Watoka Biatimo Juma, London. Why didn't we talk our London? But how many of you in a driving? Because there is a convenient transport system that is available. So yen to train and inland Accra. Can't we do train transportation? And as a long bus, sir. Sakasina Obia didn't the sequence here, Quadjuman, Quadjuma Pacoka, London. How many of you know Quadjuma de Biamodeca? How many of you?
Congestion charges, maybe congestion charges in some particular offices in Tinodebia trains, and then you get to the train station, then you take your car and then you go home.
And I'm told that Central London, by you cover about Quasica Bejono.
And I mean, congestion charges, yes.
So these are measures we need to adopt. People go to circle, so anopa, what to car now they are circle, now coffee are due 200 Ghana. Do you think they won't call you? But doing that, you need to create a convenient transport